So this is happening at the house right now. Hail and
Impresionante tormenta que estamos teniendo hoy sobre la ciudad de Rosario.
Well, boys, I fucking sent her a little too fucking hard.
quickly the yard's turning white from the hail. Holy cow. Just wanted you guys to see.
Sir?
Tropical Storm Chantal officially made landfall near Litchfield Beach, South Carolina, around 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time on July 6, 2025. The U.S. National Hurricane Center confirmed sustained winds of up to 40 miles per hour, with gusts reaching even higher in exposed coastal areas. But the wind wasn't the main threat. It was the relentless rain. Within hours, some coastal towns received more than 6 inches of rain, overwhelming drainage systems and forcing flash flood warnings to go into effect across Georgetown, Horry, and Charleston counties. Footage from Conway showed cars submerged up to their windows. In Murrells Inlet, a restaurant's patio was swept into the street by rising water. The rain quickly overwhelmed low-lying neighborhoods, particularly in flood-prone zones along Waccamaw River. Emergency alerts blared across phones warning residents to avoid travel. By noon, over 30 roads were officially closed by the Department of Transportation due to standing water. Multiple creeks across Horry County overflowed, flooding parking lots, basements, and roads. The State Highway Patrol responded to dozens of stalled vehicle calls. In Pawleys Island, rising tides breached seawalls, sending saltwater pouring into homes. Businesses along Highway 17 reported minor structural damage, waterlogged interiors, and power outages. Duke Energy reported that more than 40,000 homes and businesses across eastern South Carolina lost power. Many remained offline into the evening hours. Local governments acted quickly. In Georgetown and Charleston counties, emergency shelters were opened at high schools and civic centers. The Red Cross deployed volunteers and supplies by mid-morning. The South Carolina Emergency Management Division, SCMD, issued Level 2 alerts and activated flood response teams. Crews were seen placing sandbags, clearing blocked storm drains, and delivering bottled water to affected communities. Meanwhile, Governor Henry McMaster issued a public statement urging citizens to remain indoors, avoid travel unless necessary, and report downed power lines or trees. He said, "Tropical Storm Chantal may not be a hurricane, but make no mistake, this is a dangerous system with real consequences." While South Carolina took the brunt of the storm, eastern North Carolina was also affected. As Chantal moved inland, it carried its rain bands into Brunswick and New Hanover counties, triggering flash flood watches. Areas like Wilmington and Oak Island experienced strong wind gusts and power flickers, though damage reports were far less severe. Still, authorities in North Carolina warned that river flooding may worsen overnight as water flows downstream from South Carolina's saturated terrain. Meteorologists say Chantal was never a hurricane, but it had the perfect mix of ingredients to cause problems: slow-moving system, warm ocean water, and humid coastal air. The slow pace of the storm meant that heavy rain sat over the same areas for hours. This type of event is known as training, where storm bands repeat over the same region, leading to flash floods. Also, summer tides in South Carolina are at their seasonal peak. That meant even minor coastal surges had a higher chance of breaching barriers and flooding roads. Climate experts say storms like Chantal are becoming more common, slower, wetter, and more destructive even without hurricane-force winds. For residents, this storm was anything but mild. In Myrtle Beach, one family was rescued from their flooded home by boat after the front yard filled up like a swimming pool. A local store owner in Georgetown said, "I didn't expect it to hit this hard. We prepped for a little wind and rain, but water just poured into the shop. I lost half my inventory." Cleanup crews began working by midday to remove fallen tree limbs and debris blocking local roads. Volunteers in Pawleys Island worked with firefighters to help elderly neighbors pump out flooded basements. By Sunday evening, Chantal had weakened into a tropical depression and was moving into the Piedmont region of North Carolina. But the danger isn't over. Floodwaters will take days to recede, and saturated soil increases the risk of tree fall and mudslides in hilly terrain inland. SCEMD and FEMA are preparing damage assessments. Depending on the results, federal aid may be requested in the coming days. In the meantime, residents are urged to monitor alerts, stay off flooded roads, and check on neighbors, especially the elderly or vulnerable. Tropical Storm Chantal may not have made national headlines, but for the people of South Carolina, it's a storm they won't soon forget. For more real-time disaster updates, verified news, and on-the-ground coverage, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.
So this is happening at the house right now. Hail and a major storm.
Impresionante tormenta que estamos teniendo hoy sobre la ciudad de Rosario.
Just blew up out of nowhere. Look how quickly the yard's turning white from the hail. Holy cow. Just wanted you guys to see.